Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash of Clans. Hope you all had a great and happy new year. So we're into 2017. I'm making my way through the base here. Almost finally. About time, Ash. Have these bomb towers maxed out. Slacking a little bit on these new walls, but they're kind of making their way there as well. I have a few level 12s as well, just trying to kind of plug away at these. And you can see I have a lot of gems right now, but that's only because as a giveaway, I gave presents to a clan from a Twitter giveaway. So I'm not actually gemming anything anymore on my main account. Just, old school farming it up right now. I just started the poison over here in the lab. I just finished the golem in the lab, so I'm doing pretty well. But that is not the point of today's video. The point is to really discuss air attacks. By the way, still using this silly air farming strategy just to farm up Dark Elixir. You can see that I had the poison spell cooking up in the lab as well as the golem that just finished up. My queen is at level 42. My king is still kind of lingering there at level 40, but I've used a lot of dark in my lab as well. So what I wanted to do today is kind of update you on a new series that's going to be coming in Clash of Clans. At the same time, I want to review some air attacks at Town Hall 11, dipping to Town Hall 10, and a couple Town Hall 9 air raids as well. So really a smorgasbord, a proverbial smorgasbord of air fun today for you guys. We're going to start out against a ring base here by Tiny the Tiger. Tiny, definitely one of our two best air attackers in Red Elite. Definitely between Tiny and Dan, we're guaranteed at least 1 3-star on a Town Hall 11. They're definitely two of our scholars and gentlemen and scholars when it comes to air raids. PentaLaLoon, regular old school GoLaLoon, or in this case, BoLaLoon. So let's see how Tiny tackles this base. So he's going to lure the clan castle, a nice easy lure of that clan castle, and he's able to basically start picking away at some of these side structures here, just really creating that funnel. He's using his Grand Warden in just a sec here as the anchor for that clan castle as they're all kind of lured over there around 3 o'clock on the map. Now he just drops that nice rage spell. The rage spell serving a double purpose. A, it's going to go ahead and help take out that clan castle, move things along, but B, and more importantly, it's going to allow those wall breakers to siphon all the way over. Siphon, is that the right word? I don't know. They're going to get there all the way to that inner wall, and then they're going to create a nice little area for the kill squad to do some serious work here, taking down only one of the 3 air defenses, but more importantly, they create a really nice funnel, or even more than a funnel, rather. They just basically take out that whole northeastern side of the base there, and then it allows for the balloons and the lava hounds to kind of tactfully make their way counterclockwise, starting at noon, and then making their way to around 6 o'clock, or around rather actually 9 o'clock before the last lava hound is deployed. So deploying all the lava hounds together, definitely an important thing to do rather than saving them. At Town Hall 9, for example, on GoLaLoon, BoLaLoon attacks, especially traditionally, you're really saving your lava hounds till the very end of the raid, your last lava hound, to distract that last air defense. At Town Hall 11, you're dealing with more firepower, so, not in every situation. It really depends on the base, so you can't really apply one golden rule to every attack, at least in terms of deployment, but more often you're going to be deploying, 2 of your lava hounds at a time onto the secondary air defense versus just 1 lava hound at Town Hall 9, because you need that extra bang for your buck in terms of defensive firepower to actually help you stay alive. I kind of wanted to click back for a second here and just take a look at the air sweeper direction, because, I hate to state the obvious here, but you really want to be cognizant of what direction the air sweepers are facing. It's really one of the big 4 things that you want to look at first when planning a LaLoon attack, really at any Town Hall level, is where are the air defenses, what direction are the air sweepers facing, where is the Archer Queen, and then where's the clan castle, and you kind of, work with all 4 of those to come up with kind of a rough game plan, and then of course you have to account for, the wizard towers, are the expos on air, are they on ground, and of course the Inferno towers and the Eagle Artillery at Town Hall 11. So there's a lot to think about, and LaLoon, in my mind, has always been a little bit more timing based than a ground attack. With a ground attack, you kind of deploy your troops, and then it's all about the spells, and the funnel is more important. Whereas on air attacks, I kind of look at them the opposite way, where oftentimes it's the middle and the end of the raid that's most important, making sure you have the timing on your lava hound deployment deployment, making sure that you have a nice funnel of the balloons, that you're not steering them directly into trouble, meaning splash damage without protection. Did that come out right? You hear that, kids? Never use splash damage without protection. So moving on, PSA out of the way, you can see here we're going to go ahead and go into the second phase of this attack, and you'll note the air sweeper, the only one that's left standing, is faced in the opposite direction. So again, you know, just making sure you're going in from the logical area. You can see with both of these attacks on these ring bases, the attackers are kind of carving out a little area that you know your troops aren't going to funnel into. This case, it's kind of the northern area. I'm sure the attacker would have liked to maybe take down that Inferno Tower as well, but the attacker's still going to be okay in the end here. And it's worth noting that against these ring bases, sometimes you can get away with only using 4 Lava Hounds instead of 5, so you can go a little bit heavier on either the balloons, or probably, at least my preference, would be in the kill squad. Just make sure you carve out as much area as possible to leave that nice open funnel inside the core of the base, or inside the interior, I should say, of the base, rather than the absolute core. So here you can see, getting away with 4 Lava Hounds. Why is that? I mean, the attacker only took down 1 air defense. There's 4 remaining standing. Why do they only need 4 Lava Hounds? I'm getting my numbers confused. So the answer is pretty simple. It's because on ring bases, usually the air defenses are actually going to be pretty widespread throughout the base. So you're rarely going to have to go into more than 1 air defense at a time, and that's where it gets tricky. You're going to need to bring most cases 5 Lava Hounds to distract more than 1 air defense at a time. Of course, it is base dependent. So moving on here, I said we were going to talk about dip strategy, and look at this. It's Meddy, Medium Raw, who's been with the clan for over 40 years now. This guy's ancient in terms of Red Elite, is actually going to get some love on YouTube. He always complains that it's actually a funny side story. I'm going to go ahead and set up the attack, and then I'll tell you it. So here, I mean, there's not much to set up, right? It's spamming. Spamming is back for dips, guys. It's kind of like, you know, the last spam attack we saw for dips was just, you know, boner or just mass minor. This time it's kind of similar in terms of strategy, different in terms of troops, where you just go ahead and drop your Lava Hounds and then spam in your balloons, and it's great for attackers that have no skill like Meddy. Okay, I'm just joking. I absolutely love this guy. He's an old-time friend as well. But you can see, funny story is, the first episode that he ever got on my YouTube channel, Medium Roar, you probably can't read his name because it's all in that hieroglyphics or whatever. He's a cool kid. But the thing is his first episode ever was on a world record where he defended, I don't even know the number, but I think it was like 30 times or more in one clan war. And this is probably 2-3 years ago now on YouTube. It was one of my earlier videos, and I was like, best defender ever, Medium Roar. So yeah, that was a lot of fun, and he always gives me grief that he hasn't been on the channel since, you know, back in 2013. So I'll go ahead and link his first video in the description, and apologies in advance if any of you guys checked that out for the old school Ash with no energy. In fact, you know what? Let's do an impromptu old Ash on just this one raid. Don't turn off your video, guys. So let me do an old school. Okay, guys, so the heroes are making their way into the core now, which is great, because what that's going to allow the attacker to do here is make sort of a natural funnel for the Lava Hounds when he does deploy them. So the Lava Hounds will be coming in from the south of your screen here, and because there's 3 air defenses left standing, you need to make sure you account for every one of those 3. So the Lava Hounds and the Bowlers, interestingly enough, also coming in from the south here. The Queen is actually going to eventually get to that northern air defense on her own, even though she takes a small detour, gets the clan castle there, the town hall there in the center of the map. Using haste spells, no rage spells, so different spell variety than you're used to seeing there. Town Hall 9, usually you see at least 1 rage for the core, but remember that the heroes actually took care of the core of this base on their own. So the bowler is actually protected pretty well there by the Lava Hounds and the balloons, and a nice little 3-star attack there by M71. That's the troops that he used there if you want to copy and try for yourself. Alright, so what do you think, guys? You like low energy Ash? I'm sure a few of you will be like, I like that guy better. The other guy's too hyped up, too much coffee. Anyway, Paul Morphy, one of our best attackers, of course. He's going to go ahead and tackle this, one of these compact bases, very popular right now at Town Hall 9 in the game. I shared actually some of my favorite Town Hall 9 bases. Granted, the instant you share them on YouTube or the internet, they become a internet base, so of course use them at your own risk. But if you're in a clan that, you can actually afford to use a base that you found on the interwebs and you don't need to change it every single base, go ahead and check those out. I'll include a link to those in the description as well. 5 top Town Hall 9 bases, basically just 5 compact designs like this that defend and hold up pretty well in clan wars. So this attack is very interesting here. Both of the heroes actually go along the perimeter of the base. The queen barely hanging on to life at this point, and look at that, she stays alive. It was kind of a fun raid for our side at least, because I always love raids where the queen is barely clinging to life and then she comes through and ends up playing a pivotal role, at least in the cleanup of the attack, and that's certainly going to be the case here. So this is just kind of like a brute force LaLoon attack here, obviously using the heroes solo as the kill squad, quote unquote, with the baby dragon, and then just spamming in those balloons behind the lava hounds, really decimating this base. And that's the cool thing about air attacks, is sometimes you don't need to overplan it. You don't need to, plan every last little move of the raid. If the base is designed in a way that you can take advantage and punish the defender with an attack like this, by all means go ahead and do so. Some of these compact designs are a bit vulnerable to these just rather, it's not spammy. It's not spammy like the Meddy attack, but it is a little bit more spammy than one of those, intricate GoLaLoon where you're sending in your kill squad, achieving a few objectives, and then second phasing or maybe even third phasing, holding some back-end balloons, etc., etc. So anyway, guys, let me go ahead and do a live attack, and this could be a 20-minute cloud session because although I'm only at around, 4,500 trophies or so, I didn't even look actually, I kind of lost track exactly where I am, because I'm just farming technically, although I'm getting a little bit too high. Does that ever happen to any of you guys? Probably only Town Hall 11s, but you just keep farming and farming and farming, and the next thing you know, you're in clouds longer and longer because it's just so easy to push right now in the game. Not super high, but it's so easy to unintentionally push. I guess it could happen at any trophy level, but you end up getting higher than you want to. But anyway, that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about towards the end of this video is a new series that I'm super excited for. So as you guys may or may not know, I'm sure most of you guys know that the CWL will be kicking off Season 2 shortly. In Elite Nation, we have a clan in the mix this time, so super psyched about that. It's going to be Elite Gaming. So Elite Gaming, head up by Fog, the previous leader of Clash with Ash. Now it's Chaos Blade. Shout out to those two guys that are both amazing. But Fog is heading up our competitive Arranged War / esports clan Elite Gaming. So I'm going to go ahead and join those guys for the entire season, and what I want to do is bring something a little bit different to the table. I'm not sure if it's going to be a hit or it's going to be a flop, but I figured there's a lot of people covering the CWL right now, and they do a great job at it. I mean, of course, Powerbang being front and center, right? So I want to do something a little bit different, as I said. So my idea, it's kind of crazy, guys, kind of crazy, but bear with me here, is to make it a little bit reality TV-ish, okay? So don't turn off and dislike, all right? So my idea is not like Jersey Shore, but rather more like something along the lines of Hard Knocks, where I follow the team. Oh, look at this base. This is pretty sweet. So I'm gonna explain this to you while I figure out which air defense I want to take down here. So you know what I think I can do here? I think I can 3-star this base, guys, even with this pathetic army here. So I'm going to go ahead and be a little bit ballsy and take down one of the air defenses up in the north. I'm going to take down the northwestern air defense, I think. Either that or the northern, and then I'll come in through the south. So let's see what we can do here. So as I'm going ahead, okay, that air defense is down. As I go ahead and spam my troops in, the Lava Hound at the 1 air defense, and then I'm just going to I'm going to sneak in the heroes in this little compartment here. See the king, and then the queen, and then I'm going to take down that air defense, and then I'm just going to spam my spells and hope for the best. So as I'm doing that, so a little bit kind of like Hard Knocks if you guys like the NFL or watch football, but basically I'm going to follow our team throughout the season, and I'm going to cover them like in between matches too, and try to bring a little bit of a story, a little bit of a storytelling to the league. So hopefully that will be entertaining for you guys. I'm not going to make it a ton about the individuals, but rather about the clan's journey in their first season in the CWL. So I know not all you guys can have your clans. By the way, this raid is going hella good right now. I know not all of you guys can be part of the CWL, and a lot of you guys probably are too, but what I want to, give you guys a shot to kind of live vicariously through the squad, and I hope, in my own little way, I hope to kind of bring you guys onto the Elite Gaming team, and maybe you can kind of travel with us through our journey, and, it might be fun. It might be fun for you guys to watch and listen to a little bit differently. So I'm going to recap the wars, every single war that they do in the CWL. I'm going to recap every match, and then on top of that, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an extra behind-the-scenes flavor to the league. So I'm really excited about that, and I'm really excited about that 3-star, and the loot is pretty awesome too. Check this out. 535k gold plus the 300k bonus. I'll take 3/4 mil any day, not to mention almost 5k dark elixir. So that's a great way to end this video. I'm interested to hear your feedback on the whole new series idea that should be starting up this weekend. So guys, let me know in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, take care, guys.